Bienvenidos una vez más a Puro Pinche Gol. This is the podcast where we discuss all things Liga MX y Selección Mexicana. If this is your first time with us, welcome. My name is Adrian Cruz. I am one of your favorite tocayos, and tonight with me is my other counterpart and your other favorite tocayo, Adrian. How's it going, man? How you been?
Oh, what? Is that really me? Nah, yeah, man, I'm back. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Glad to be back. Glad to be back with PPG Nation. Missed you guys, and man, ready to talk some football, some Selección Mexicana, some news. Let's get into it, brother. How you been?
I've been all right, and this is a great timing for you to come back because there's a couple of topics here that we're gonna be discussing tonight.
Yeah.
The very first one that it's out there. Other channels have discussed it, and you and I have to have a conversation about this, right? And the first one is Marcelo Flores having an intention, right? An intention is not yet confirmed nor signed into
Yeah.
paper that he is trying to make his one-time change national team, whatever you want to call it, with FIFA, so he can stop playing for Mexico and start playing for the Canadian national team, the Canadian men's national team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, your thoughts, man.
Well, there's Marcelo Flores downloading Bumble, he's looking at his options. Right. No, but man, I think more power to him. First of all, he hasn't played with La Selección Mexicana since 2022. I think he
A
had two
while, yeah.
appearances back in 2022, one in 2021, three appearances in total. We know from FIFA rule that they made up this rule in 2021 saying that if you're under 21 and you've played less than three or less games with your selección, you can file a one-time switch, right? So he's still eligible. We know he was born in Canada. He has a British passport as well. He was born to a Canadian mother, born to a Mexican father. So that's kind of how his ties to Canada go, right? For those that don't know,
Right.
his options are open. More power to him for keeping his options open, I guess. And I mean, it hasn't been really his choice, right? He hasn't been called up because he's been playing,
For a
but
good reason, though.
for a good reason. For a good reason, I'm sure he would have loved to be called up for La Selección Mexicana. Already been cap tied completely, fixture, regular mainstay for La Selección, but it hasn't been the case, right? So
Hmm.
I think Jesse Marsh made an announcement, man, saying like, "Hey, we're a multicultural city or country. We're gonna look into what options we have heading into 2026 World Cup." And this whole thing came about like, "Hey, let's invite him. Let's try to convince him to come to move to this country, right? I mean, to Selección. Not going to be an official convocatoria. It's just going to be, hey, these are our installations, right? These are our practice fields. This is how we do things here. What are your thoughts? Come play with us, train with us for a while, and let's go from there." So I think that's how it's going to start right now. I know Marcelo has recently, it's looked like he's distancing himself from La Selección Mexicana, and this might be why. But man, if they're going to take him to Canada, take him from Tigres too, man, while they're at it.
Listen, I was gonna say, sure, I guess hashtag respect to the guy that if one door is closing, you open the other one, right?
Yes,
Sure,
sir.
that I'm not gonna pretend to say that that's not a good thing, right? I'm not gonna criticize him for that. Is this a big loss for Mexico? That's my biggest question in my mind right now. And listen, I don't think that's the case. I honestly
I
think
agree.
that this is definitely a situation where one's man's trash is another man's treasure, right?
Yeah.
um, listen, I don't know how you feel about this, but every single time back in 2022, when Marcelo Flores was coming up on the Arsenal Academy,
Yeah.
and there was this huge hype around him in Mexico, and like, oh my god, we have this potential Mexican player, or at least eligible Mexican player that can play for la selección mexicana. We should cap tie him and whatnot, and even making the thought or putting the thought out there of bringing him to the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Listen, even then, I was cringing hard, dude,
Yeah.
because I just didn't see anything out of this player, out of Marcelo Flores, to be even considered to join Mexico in 2022. And don't get me wrong, was Marcelo Flores a great prospect then? Sure. confirmed. Like I think no doubt, no one thought that he was not a great prospect for Mexico. But as he continued his development with Arsenal, didn't see any minutes. Went to Real Oviedo, didn't
Yeah.
play anything at Real Oviedo in a
Yeah.
second
Right.
division team in Spain, and then he goes to Liga MX with Tigres against my will, dude.
Against my-
Against no one asked me if
yeah.
I wanted Marcelo Flores with Tigres, and if I would have had my way, I would have said hell no. But I get it. It was kind of a you know a good offer. It was a discounted player. I think they paid less than $500,000. I think for him, um, something like that along those lines. And it's a matter of like that Mexican players in Liga MX are expensive. So he's still what 20 years old, I
22.
think,
Yeah.
22 years old. When he joined Tigres, he was 20, I think. Still has some years, some legs to maybe be something in Liga MX and get sold to Las Chivas or an
Yeah.
MLS team whatsoever, right? But I think Canada is doing a favor to Mexico. I've seen enough of Marcelo Flores with Tigres to tell you that he's not better than Chicha Sanchez from Tigres. I don't think he's better than even Uriel Antuna, and Uriel Antuna is definitely the lowest bar in Mexico
Yeah,
basketball.
no, I agree. I agree completely on the favor part. It's like Mexico is probably looking for that out. How do we get rid of this guy without like
For
hurting his
real,
feelings,
dude.
right? And
Yeah.
like, oh, Canada comes along, yeah, let's go, let's go. But yeah, I mean, Marcelo Flores, what he's been with Tigres 2 years, right? Four,
Mhm.
well, two apertura, two clausuras. Um, he's had like 48 appearances, I think 8 goals and whatnot. His stats aren't the greatest, and we know, like,
Yeah.
I'll give him this benefit of the doubt. Tigres is not a club that plays youngsters. It's in fact, I mean, they'll play the minimum, right? Well, maybe there'll be here and there one that comes out, a youngster that comes out of the academy or the spot early on in their career that Tigres does play, but we've seen it with multiple players in the past, and you have to be a really, really standout player to play for Tigres, and a really, really standout youngster to play for Tigres. And it's a stacked squad. Maybe now,
Yeah.
so it's an older squad, but it was a stacked squad 2 years ago, definitely when he came aboard. But he was never able to make himself at home, make himself get a spot right. Um, let alone in, like you said, in Spain or England, here in Liga MX. And yeah, I think it's just he might be feeling stuck. He might be feeling like, man, it's now or never for me to play in a home World Cup. I'm nowhere near playing for Tigres, let alone playing for La Selección Mexicana. What can I do to maybe get a move for either Selección, and I think if he moves to Canada, to La Selección Canadiense, I think that's, there's no point in keeping him with Tigres anymore. I think one of the big things of Tigres or him coming to Liga MX was a prospect for La Selección as well
Yeah.
as a player
Yeah.
for Tigres, right? So I mean that the only thing going to keep him with Tigres at this point is Tatiana,
And that's
right?
perhaps the best thing that he's brought with him.
Yeah, I guess.
Ever since he joined Tigres, I mean, Tatiana is definitely a regular starting 11 player for Tigres Femenil. I think she also plays for La Selección Mexicana,
Yeah,
the La
feminine.
Selección Mexicana Femenil, the Mexico, well, yeah, La Selección Mexicana Femenil. And so, yeah, I think arguably that's perhaps his biggest contribution to Tigres and to the Mexican football as of right now. Does it hurt to have Marcelo Flores in the pool of players that are eligible for Mexico? No, but this is an argument that you can make for almost every single player, right? It's nothing special out of Marcelo Flores.
Every player is
Um,
eligible, right? I mean,
exactly,
there's
exactly.
a
To me,
huge
it's
pool,
like
huge pool. There's so many Marcelo Flores level players out there for La Selección. He's
I
nothing
agree,
special.
100%
Yeah.
agree. And so this situation for me is like it's a no brainer. If Mexico can get rid of a guy who doesn't really contribute to anything, right?
Yeah.
Good riddance. Go try to play for Canada. I don't think he's even going to play for Canada. To be
Neither do
honest
I.
with you, man.
Neither do I. Yeah.
I mean, even right now, I mean, I understand that the Canadian team thinks they are top dog in Concacaf, which they aren't, by the way. But they are definitely 2 or 3 players ahead of him. So even if he makes the switch, he's not guaranteed a spot for the 2026 World Cup in any way because he's not playing with Tigres. 4 matches this season, dude.
Yeah,
147 minutes.
it's
You
abysmal.
tell me.
I know. Yeah,
You tell
and we're
me.
in jornada 17.
Exactly. Three
I mean,
different coaches, and the only coach that actually maybe believed in him was um, this the Uruguayan guy, Siboldi. And
Siboldi.
even Siboldi said, and then I want to finish this topic with this, is even Siboldi said that when he saw Marcelo Flores and he saw him training, he had to teach him how to get how to receive the ball, how to control the ball, and have a controlled set of the ball, right? And that to me says a lot because if you are a product of a Premier League academy, that shouldn't be a problem.
That should
That
be
shouldn't be
something
something
you
to
know
get
right
away from.
away, right? Yeah,
Exactly. And I think that says everything about Marcelo Flores. He's way more worried about having, trenzas en la cabeza and riding his freaking Cybertruck and speaking English in Monterrey for
yeah,
whatever
man.
reason he doesn't know any Spanish.
Didn't you
So
run into him with his
yeah,
trenzas at a mall in Monterrey?
exactly. Like I saw him walking in the mall with two or three kids around him, and they're all speaking English. I get it. His Spanish is not his first language, but you've been in Monterrey for 2 years. The fact that you haven't shown any interest in learning the
In
language
adapting,
that
yeah.
will help you, with your career, it just goes to show that this guy, his mind is somewhere else, dude. If I if I was him or if I was Tigres, I push him away to like Forge FC or whatever, some like Canadian Premier League team that is not even in the MLS, because I think that's the level where he's at right now. I might be being a hater, but hey, I have the big data backs me up, dude. This time,
And we know why Siboldi liked him, right?
and then
I mean,
let's not go
yeah,
let's
let's
not
not
go
go
there.
there.
Let's not go
But
there.
but yeah, man, I agree with you. I think the chapter for Marcelo Flores with Tigres for sure has to come to an end. If he wants to leave that door open with La Selección Mexicana, that's up to him.
Yeah.
I want to bring up before we move on from Marcelo Flores. I want to bring on one more question for you, Adrian. Do you think he's closer to making the bench for La Selección Mexicana or Canada ahead of the 2026 World Cup?
Uh, I think definitely the Canadian bench for sure.
I agree. I
Like
agree.
I am not listen, and we might get some comments below from the three Canadian fans that are out there that we don't know anything about the Canadian national roster or squad or national team, and they're right. I don't know a lot about it, but what I do know is they don't have as if Mexico has a limited pool of players. I think
Yeah,
Canada has a way even limited, a more limited pool of players
sure.
than Mexico, unlike the U.S. MNT, right? So yeah,
I agree.
I think he has a better shot of being a bench player and maybe making it to the 2026 World Cup. But if this is an indication that he might leave Tigres, where do I sign, man? Where do I sign? Tell me who do I need to send a check to?
Oh man, I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, me included. Um, nah, but yeah, man, Marcelo. I think for the best, man.
Bye
Go
bye.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah. Hasta nunca.
that's the
Hasta
look.
nunca, Marcelo Flores. The next subject that we're going to discuss here, Adrian, before we because we have three different subjects, right? We have three different
Yep.
topics. Marcelo Flores. This second one, I think, is a good buffer before we dabble into the last one. But as you know, and as maybe all of our PPG Nation fam knows, also, Adidas just dropped the Mexico home shirt for 2026 World Cup.
Yep.
Um, before I give my thoughts, I want to hear where you're standing with this jersey, dude.
Well, obviously, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you're a fan or, maybe a hater of La Selección Mexicana. You're just listening to hate, right? I don't know.
Hmm.
But you've probably seen the jersey. You've probably seen the leaks. Well, it's not a leak anymore. Right? It's official from Adidas. And you're probably scratching your head saying, hey, man, this looks familiar. That's because, obviously, it's from a retro kit, right? It's a throwback to the 98 World Cup jersey that Mexico used, the Aztec calendar, excuse me, jersey. And it's similar, very very similar, and I think the neck's a little different, the collar, and obviously the design's a little different, but
Hmm.
it's really an homage and throwback to that 98 World Cup jersey. Adrian, I liked it. At initial looks, I'm a fan of the 98 jersey. I love the 98 jersey. I
That's a good
liked
shirt.
it.
Yeah, that's a cool jersey for sure.
Yeah, I liked it at initial glance, and I started looking at it more. I'm not a fan of how the collar looks, but other than that, I think it's a good jersey, a decent jersey. Now, I hope La Selección wears it because they tend to always go and wear their white or blacks, which I don't get. Mexico is known
Yeah,
for their green kits. Wear the
I agree.
freaking green kit. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. It's gonna make a lot of people happy. I think it's gonna, definitely, trying to reach back into that retro style and trying to get, I guess, people that maybe were interested in football back then or selección back then to come back and say, "Oh man, I grew up with this jersey." So I think it's cool, man. I think it's a good idea. What are your thoughts on it?
Listen, I agree with you that this is definitely like a uh, kind of like a fan service for a
Yeah,
lot of the Selección Mexicana followers, right?
sure.
Um, I I think it was kind of a no brainer, especially if since Mexico is playing at home. But here's my grabs with it, man. I think this was the bare minimum they could have done. And listen,
Kind of lazy.
I yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Adidas in general, so my opinion is definitely biased. Even though I have a bunch of Adidas jerseys because Adidas
Yeah, I
is
see them all
everywhere.
back there. Yeah,
Yeah, and Adidas is everywhere. Like they now are the freaking big kahuna of football around the world. And so I don't know if it has to do with my bias of just being completely exhausted to see Adidas everywhere, dude. Like no matter where I look around, no matter what league I'm looking in, I might be watching a Premier League, Liga MX, name it MLS, Belgian Pro, the Jupiler Pro League, whatever you name it. I
yeah.
see the same template every single game and league and everywhere, and I'm just tired, dude. I'm tired, and on top of that, you have it just feels like they say, hey, what's the easiest thing that we can do to make some bank? And maybe the intern was like, well, you know what, we can make a retro shirt from the 98 from 98. We can use the
We
same
know the
template.
Mexican fans will buy it because they
Exactly.
buy everything. Yeah.
And leaving that aside, I think it's not a bad jersey. I think it's a good jersey, but I just cannot help to feel that this
Kind
is
of
like
lazy.
it's just the bare minimum, right? It's just the least amount of effort they could have done. They probably asked freaking ChatGPT. They had an intern just ChatGPTing this stuff. Hey, give me a cool design for the Mexican national jersey for 2026 World Cup, and bam, ChatGPT gave them a template
Yeah.
like this. And so I don't know. I mean, I I if I have to give you a number out of 10, I'm gonna say like a 6 for me, just because of that specific reason. I don't think it's an ugly shirt. I don't think it's the worst shirt. I just feel that they gave us the scraps, right? It was like, all right, we don't have enough time to do something else, or we know Mexico's not gonna make it after the third round or whatever, and so let's just do
Oh
something
man.
that people are gonna buy because of nostalgia rather than anything
Yeah.
else. So that is my take on it. I hope the away kit looks better. I know it's gonna be an Adidas original version, and it looks like it's gonna be white. And there's some rumors going around that it's gonna be an homage to, I think, the jersey that they used on, I want to say, like on the 94 or even before that. I don't, I know Mexico didn't play the World Cup in the 90s or 1990. But I know it's a jersey that Hugo Sanchez wore whenever he was called
Mhm.
up for Mexico. So either like in the 80s or like middle of the 90s, not the 98 one. Um, so we'll see. We'll see if that one pleases me more than the green one. But I agree with you. It's perhaps the biggest thing that I like is that Mexico is going back to the green
Yeah.
um, color scheme, which they should have never left to begin with. It we've had some pretty cool black third jerseys, but
Or
I
off
think they should,
colors. Yeah.
yeah, they should stay there. They should stay as a third jersey. Mexico should definitely always play as a home with a home kit that is green. The away kit, I don't care if it's white or red or whatever, but the home kit should always be green. But that's, yeah. I mean, let us know in the comments below. What do you think about this Mexico shirt? Do you like it? Do you think it's a lazy 10 like I think? Are you gonna buy it? And if you do, you're gonna put a number on it. And yeah, I
Six
mean,
seven, 6'7".
6'7". Yeah, I just let us know in the comments below how do you feel about the new Mexican kid. And
Adrian,
now,
before we move on to the next one, let me
Mhm.
just mention I do like it more than the one that Nike came out for England USA, the weird star one. I don't know if you saw that one.
I haven't seen
It's
it.
a I think it's the goalkeeper one that they're going to give all goalkeepers for all Nike jerseys in the World Cup. It's kind of weird.
I,
Look it up. It looks I'm not a fan of it. It looks really nasty. I think. And also, you mentioned tired of Adidas. Adidas being everywhere. Would you like Mexico to be sponsored by a Mexican brand like Charlie or something?
no, not really.
Hmm.
Not really. Um, Listen, I don't have anything against Charlie. I just don't think Charlie has the best designs whatsoever. And this might be my, my Mexican gene kicking in. You know how they say Mexicans, they don't really support other Mexicans. But I digress. I rather see Mexico with Hummels or Hummel,
Hmm.
right? I rather see Mexico with Umbro, Macron, something like that. Do something just different, man. Just different. I think Hummel has very good kids. In the World Cup, we might see Dinamarca,
Yeah.
Denmark with it. Um, but yeah, just something different, dude. Just
All
something
right.
out of the blue, something that is not Adidas. I don't know. I'm 100% sure it's not gonna happen because
Yeah.
Adidas is the biggest beater, and the Adidas know that Mexico sells. So I think it's gonna be the case for the next, I don't know, foreseeable future. But I would love to see a smaller brand hitting
Get a
Mexico.
chance with it. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. hmm
Cool.
So
Cool.
yeah, let us know. Would you like to see Atletica? I know Atletica is making a comeback. Would you like to see Atletica wearing Mexico, or I guess providing Mexico the kits for the foreseeable future,
Let
or
us
even
know.
Charlie? I'm not a huge fan of Charlie, but maybe the three fans from Santi Laguna or Cholos or whatever, whoever they
Yeah.
freaking sponsor in Liga MX, they might feel otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments below. How do you feel about it, man?
Cool.
The last topic that we were saving for this episode, it's an interesting one, and I think
Yeah.
we had a good buffer with La Selección Mexicana jersey to maybe recollect our thoughts on what we're gonna about to discuss, and it has to do with, or it's related to one of the Mexican national strikers, not Raúl Jiménez, because Raúl Jiménez is having a decent season with Fulham.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
talking about the other Jiménez, the Jiménez with a G, Santiago El Bebote Jiménez. I think it's not a lie. It's definitely out there that he's not having a great season with Milan, and not even the last half of the season. The last
Yeah.
season, like the
He
last
hasn't been
second half
good
of last season.
since he moved there.
Exactly, like he hasn't been doing great, and I think he's. And please let me know how you feel about this, but I think he's the latest case of the Eredivisie attacks.
That we
I think
see
that's
a lot. Yeah.
hmm
And
exactly. So
we know it's a
yeah,
haven for goal scorers.
exactly. And yeah, dude. I mean, listen, he's playing. It isn't because he's benched regularly. Actually, it's the opposite. He starts for AC Milan.
Yeah.
He
Starts a good amount.
plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
plays a good amount for them, like 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and then he gets subbed in or subbed out. Sorry. So it isn't because of a lack of playtime or opportunities, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he's not scoring. We used to think that it was La Selección Mexicana's curse on him, but is it really that the case at Milan?
Well, apparently not to him, right? He came out with an excuse now. He published it on Instagram saying that, and I'm summarizing here. I don't have the quote here right in front of me, but saying that for the last couple of months he's been playing with an injured, I think it was ankle or toe or something. He's playing injured, right? Según. And that that's kind of been the reason why he's been at a lower level than he's accustomed to or he wants to be, right? And that he's going to take some months to really recover, and he's been pushing himself too quick, too soon. To not, he's hasn't been able to fully recover, right? So now he was going to take some months, going to be out, and hopefully be 100% in time for the World Cup, right? This is probably the reason for this announcement to really have some time to recover, right, during the winter break, and maybe so on, depending how long it takes him. But do we really buy that, Adrian? Do we buy that has he been injured for 2 years, 3 years for La Selección Mexicana when he's only scored like 2 goals in 2 years or something?
Yeah.
Um, has he been injured since he moved to AC Milan? He was never making this excuse up, when he was in the Eredivisie, right, scoring 3 goals a game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was playing with a knock, but it's kind of doubtful and kind of weird to look past the way past if he was injured, if he had a knock, why would AC Milan risk him more, right? Like they paid a lot for him, and B,
Mhm.
every time Mexico called him up for convocatorias in the last couple of months, wouldn't Mexico know, hey, you're injured? Let's coordinate with AC Milan. Like none of either AC Milan would have caught it or Mexico would have caught it or both, and no one brought it up. No one's never been mentioned until now. I don't know.
Exactly.
I think he's looking for an excuse, maybe an easy way out of why he's been playing poorly, and I just don't think people are buying it, man.
And I don't blame him because on top of that, on top of everything, every single thing that you mentioned, he also took a long vacation over the summer after I think the Gold Cup or whatever, or the Nations League, one of those.
Yeah,
And he decided not to go to the preseason with us with Milan,
yeah, I
right?
remember that. Yeah. Hmm.
He decided to rest. And so is that a consequence? Like what his injury right now is a consequence of him not going back and training on the
Reading himself.
preseason and getting ready for the demanding uh, games of Serie A. I don't
It
know.
could
I
be.
mean, listen, I think he is playing consistently because they want to put him on a shelf or on a display, right? So someone comes in and swoop him because his value has dropped significantly since his move to Milan.
It
I think
has.
right now he's valued at 26 mil euros according to the transfer market. So is still a player of 24 years of age, kind of a bargain, if you ask me, based on his numbers from Feyenoord, not from Milan, of course. But yeah, I don't blame the fans if they feel that he is just finding like the easiest way out to just say like, hey, I'm not playing well because I've been playing injured, right? I've been either taking painkillers or using that freaking cold spray or whatever, getting siendo intervenido as they say in Mexico, so he can play with AC Milan. But I think it's just a reflection of where he is both physically and mentally, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, things haven't been great with for him in Milan, um, not even with Mexico. And there's a lot of rumors going around that he might be looking to come back to Liga MX, which I hope he doesn't, by the way. Uh, but listen, I think he needs to, shut up, dude. If he's injured, no one needs to know that he's been playing injured for all this time, right? He
Yeah.
should keep it to himself because it's not benefiting him whatsoever, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
second of all, as you said, if you're injured and your excuse to not do the preseason was because you had a very busy season, right? Then why are you exposing yourself in this way?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to make people feel sorry for you when you took the decision to not train because you thought that you were gonna get injured if you trained during the preseason, right?
Yeah.
So I just think I agree with you 100%. It's definitely a very 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 poor excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only one that knows, right? You and I don't know. We don't see him on a regular basis. We're not his doctors. He might be injured, right? And it might be like a one of those injuries that is not
Like
knocking
a
you down.
lingering.
Exactly, exactly. It's a lingering injury doesn't knock you out quickly, but as you compound games and physical activity, then it hits you hard.
Yeah.
But I I don't know. I don't think this is the reason why he's not scoring. I just don't think that's the reason why he's not making any goals with Milan
Or la selección. Yeah.
or la selección mexicana. Yeah, for that case. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we look at his numbers over the last 12 months, I mean, his average. over this season has been, according to SofaScore, a rating of 6.4, which is not too bad, but it's also not great.
Average, right?
Um, yeah, because he's not making an impact on any
Yeah.
goal or assist contribution with Milan. Um, he was brought in to be the main striker, to be the scoring guy, right? And
Yeah, it was
he's
gonna be
not.
him, Leao, Pulisic,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And now you have, I think, Nkunku,
And Kunku,
who's
yeah.
yeah, who's gonna take advantage of his drop in form and not being fit for even the bench, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but we'll see, man. I mean, I I don't think he should make a move during the winter break. I think he should just stick it out with Milan, because his spot in La Selección Mexicana is secure unless he's injured. I don't think, like, let's be real about this. There isn't or aren't any
Yeah.
other
I know.
Mexican strikers that you can call up. So it's a very low risk situation for him. I wouldn't jump the gun on whatever first opportunity comes my way, and go away from Milan. I'll definitely rest, do physical therapy, get back into the rhythm, and then fight for a spot right in Milan.
Yeah.
And then we'll see after the World Cup. Uh, but no, man, I don't buy it. I think this is just an easy way out to deflect the criticism, as you say.
I agree, man. It's kind of in poor taste, and yeah, like you said, if he's injured, power to him, man. Get better, Santiago Jimenez. But if you're not injured and making up an excuse here, man, well, only you know that. And yeah, I mean, it's not the best of things to do right now. But yeah, I agree with you. He should stay in Milan, secure spot in La Selección Mexicana, try to fight it out for one more year or half a year, and whatever's left of this season, right?
Hmm.
And then after the World Cup, you evaluate. Maybe you have a great World Cup, Santiago Jimenez, and your value skyrockets, right? But yeah, as far as the posts, I mean, so unnecessary. But
I
it is
know,
what we
dude.
is, man. These
Uh-huh.
players with their redes sociales.
Yeah, I know. They feel like, I don't know if they think that the majority of people are gonna say like, "Oh my God, poor guy, leave him alone." But I I
He
think
doesn't know
that
la prensa mexicana and the Mexican fans.
exactly, dude. Exactly, exactly. And this is kind of a, well, it's not. I think the forward situation for Mexico, right? The striker situation for Mexico is very dire, right?
Yeah,
But this puts things in a way more complex, I guess, perspective, or more difficult, because now we have to pretty much turn on all the freaking veladoras and pray to God that freaking Raul Jimenez does not get injured,
yeah,
because if he gets injured, dude, um, I don't think Santi Jimenez can handle the pressure as of right
yeah.
now. Um,
Oh man, that
Raul
would be
Jimenez,
something.
I really pray that he doesn't get a bad injury, or a one of those, like, pubalgias or pubitis, where he gets injured every other game. And because Mexico really needs Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
If we've seen something throughout this 2025, is that Raul Jimenez is the go-to player for Mexico, and Mexico definitely drops in performance when he's not on the pitch. So, oof. People don't believe me, man, but it's not easy to be a Mexico fan right now. It's not easy.
Yeah, if you're looking at it from the outside looking in, you're probably thinking, hey, campeones de la Copa Oro, campeones de la Nations League, man, it must be great being a Mexico fan. But it only people that follow the selección know
Hmm.
how much criticism goes into the selección,
Yeah.
how much scrutiny the players are under constantly, and how much the fans demand, and rightfully so. Mexico, it's a country where their number one sport is far and away football. A lot of fans, us included, think that Mexico should be further along or better in soccer
Yeah.
than they are right now. But it is a situation where there's some players, some good players, but there's definitely some gaps and a lot of not depth. So especially in that, like you said, striker position. So
Mhm.
it's good moment, good 2025 for La Selección, being champion of of CONCACAF again, Rey de CONCACAF. But take it with a grain of salt because things are not as rosy as they seem.
Dude, it must have been a marvelous year because Javier Aguirre got
Yeah, dude.
shortlisted. So
Yes. Oh my god, I saw that, dude. What the hell are they smoking over there in FIFA?
I know the only thing that I can
Oh
think of
man,
is that episode from Malcolm when Dewey is taking a picture with another family.
vente para casa, no tu familia. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So I don't know either that whoever is doing that voting of the best or whatever it's on something on some
I want some of that. What they're having.
for real. Yeah, give me what they're having because I don't see how freaking a Gold Cup and a Nations League constitutes a enough champion, or I guess enough whatever palmares trophies or level or whatever you want to call it to be neck and neck with Maresca, who won the freaking Club World Cup, or even Arteta, who didn't. I think that what he won, a FA Cup or something, or even nothing. But
FA, yeah, Carling, one of those, right? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, next to Club or next to Arnes, no, not Club, Arne Slot. I don't know. I think it was just funny to see
Yeah.
Javier Aguirre being featured there on the short list. I'm like, someone sent me the picture, and I was like, this. I was like, this is AI, right? This is fake.
I
And they
saw
said
that
like,
too.
no,
I was like,
yeah,
what's going on here? Oh
it
man,
came
that's
from
fun.
the actual official Twitter
Yeah.
account. So I was like, all right,
Hmm.
I guess Javier Aguirre must have some really good friends in FIFA. You know,
Yeah. He's
super
been
really good
around
friends.
long
But man,
enough.
this is it. This is the this is the end of the episode, dude. Thank you so much for joining us today. For all the PPG fam, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notifications. You can also find us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast on. Last but not least, we're also on TikTok and Instagram. You can find us at Puro Pinche Gol. We post memes, latest news, and shorts of our episodes.
Yep.
Um, Dude, Tocayo, always nice to have you back. We have Liga MX finishing up the regular season. Jornada 17
Exciting.
coming up.
Yep.
Exciting. Liguilla inbound as we see it. And then we also have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last two official FIFA friendly matches for Mexico before
Uruguay, Paraguay.
exactly
Yeah.
happening on November, let me tell you, November 15th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and November 18th, 7:30 Central Standard Time. So like 2 weeks from now, give or take. We will have our anticipated and always, classic preview episodes to discuss Mexico against Uruguay and Paraguay, and we might also do some live streams for those episodes, for those matches as well. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. Yeah, stay tuned because there's things coming up. And yeah, thank you for joining us. Highly appreciate it, and we'll see you the next time. Take it easy, Docayo.
See you, brother.